Well, how y'all doing? I'm gonna make y'all a real quick update video. Those are not done yet. But anyway. So, got me a new work truck. I went and bought this thing in Terre Haute. Didn't give, too much for it. It cost a little bit, but it wasn't that bad. So I get there, he hits the key, fires right up. And I could tell when I got in it, like it's been running a minute. So I'm like, oh boy. And he say, oh, it used to bog out and die every now and then. We put a fuel pump on it. And it looked like a new fuel pump. I haven't really looked at it that great. So I was like, well, screw it, It's a 4-speed manual. Let's just go for it. It's a 1-ton dually. It's got a flatbed on it. So anyway, I start trucking out of there. I make it almost a block and it dies. And we ended up going to the gas station to get a gas can. They didn't have a gas can. Went to Harbor Freight, got a gas can, went back to the gas station, got gas, went back to the truck, put gas in the truck, fired right up. Like instantly fired right up. I'm like, oh, this ain't fuel related, or this ain't it just ain't out of gas. That's something with the carburetor, or something's not right. And drive it, a few, not even a block, and it dies. And then we drive it a couple more feet and it dies. And then we broke down like 6 times. It took 2 hours to make it 3.5 blocks, and ended up at a gas station. Well, we're just going to fill it up with gas in case it used to have an electric pump, and the gas tank looked like it leaked, and everything was just kind of leaking gas. And I was like, well, let's put gas in it. So we did, and I put $2 and something in it before it started spewing out of the top of the tank. So that was nice, and ended up still wasn't what the problem was. So I called a tow truck and got towed home. 45 miles. Here's the problem. See where that's at? See where that gap's at? Oh, and by the way, the bed is not actually attached. It looked like it may have been attached in one little spot, but the welds on this is pretty hilarious. Like, there's the one spot the bed's attached. There you go. Get you a good gander at that. Can't hardly hold this camera the way I need to. There you go. That's the one spot that I can see where the bed is attached. Everything else is just it's not anywhere else. Here's the fuel tank I'm putting in it. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. It rains and it gets a whole bunch of water right in the tank. There's like 2 gallons of water in this fuel tank. So that wasn't helping anything. But yeah, they got rubber lines and it's all cobbled up and it's a real mess. And so I went out and bought a new fuel pump, bought a whole spool of copper fuel line. And I got fuel line, you can't really see it, but down there is one lonely copper line that's going to go into that pump, and then from there to another carburetor. And pretty much what I've done, entirely, new carburetor, new fuel line, new fuel pump, new fuel line all the way to the back, new fuel cell, not new, it came out of the T-bucket, but different fuel cell that's proven to be a good one, and a new fuel filter. So I got a completely, entirely new fuel system on this truck from the tank to the carburetor. So I'm going to take this piece of crap carburetor off and throw it across the garage, and I'm going to put that Holley on it right there. So yeah, so after I got this towed home, today I spent running around getting parts for this thing, and in between, well, I went and got parts. I went to work, got parts on my lunch break, went to work, got parts after work in a different vehicle. Okay, my old work truck, driving it back after lunch, and get across the railroad tracks on the highway, and all of a sudden it just starts driving real funny. And well, so yeah, I'll just edit in a little clip of it. Here's what happened to that. So yeah, that would be wheel bearings and tie rod end and ball joints, and pretty much everything's wore out again. I just replaced it not too long ago. So yeah, the work truck, it's done. That's it. The power steering is going out of it. Like, the box works. The power steering pump is good. The lines are good. The steering box works, but the power steering part of the steering box does not work. So you can steer it, but there ain't no power steering, even though it's got a brand new power steering pump on it. So you can't steer it. The brakes barely worked before, and now that the wheel bearing and everything's screwed up, I lost brakes on the way back to work completely, to where I don't have any freaking brakes now. And then on top of that, the rear end started making a real funny noise about 3-4 days ago. So I pulled the plug out of it to check the fluid, and it's got fluid in it. And the fluid looks like it's got the metal that's coming out of these heads right here. Actually, I've only been working on one head, but the fluid looks like it's got a bunch of that stuff in it. It's the rear axle's eating itself. So I'm glad I got this truck, even though I had to, get it towed home. And it wasn't exactly cheap, but thanks to my buddy Joshua for taking me up there and waiting until the tow truck got there. He's gonna follow me home, and hell, he even offered to go get his trailer and just trailer it home. And I was like, no, I think it'll drive. I don't think it'll fit on his trailer because it's a dually. But I was like, let's just do it. Go up there, drive it home. Well, it didn't work out, and he stuck with me for like 2 hours and ran me all over Terre Haute, getting gas cans and getting gas and breaking down in the middle of the road, helping me push it off the road. So big shout out to him. He's helped me out on quite a few little projects. He's the one that trucked my old Chevy truck, 100 and some miles to Illinois to get the T-bucket, and trucked it home on a trailer. He hauled both of them. He's the one that hooked me up with the transmission and the torque converter for the racetrack. So yeah, I definitely appreciate him, man. He helps out a lot. You guys should check out his YouTube channel. But anyway, I'm putting a whole new, from carburetor to the fuel tank, everything new in between. It's a small block Chevy, so the parts are pretty cheap. I think the most expensive thing is, well, the carburetor I had, but that fuel line over there is not cheap. It's copper/nickel something alloy, but it's good stuff. It bends pretty good. But yeah, in the wiring, there's no fuses anywhere, and we got crap like this going on that's really close to crap like that, and the battery ain't tied down, and it's also extremely close to the header. And also that header down there is road killed to death. Like, let me show you this. That header is completely freaking just about smashed shut. Can't really get a grasp on how bad that is, but somebody just annihilated them headers. And also this engine has orange silicone oozing out of every orifice, including the oil pan. So for all I know, somebody could have had an engine that's knocking real bad and replaced a couple rod bearings and just didn't drive it, So I don't really know the story on this. It runs really good when it does run. I mean, I'll give it that. It sounds good. Oil pressure ain't quite what I'd like it to be, but it seems okay. I won't know till I can drive it more than like, a block without it freaking breaking down. So after I get the old gas tank out of there, weld the bed back on, put the new carburetor and get everything done to it, I should be driving this thing, soon. I'd like to drive it tomorrow to work, but I don't know if it's going to happen or not. I'd like to pump out about full, however many, 25 gallons of gas and separate the water out of it and try to save it. Anyway, it's got a giant 4-core radiator in it, so that's cool. I don't know. Here's the new work truck, guys. It's got chicken lights on it. It'll be awesome when it's done, trust me. Just you're gonna have to give me a minute. I like the hydraulic assist brakes. I've had a couple vehicles with that. Actually, 85 Pontiac Parisian. I had Safari station wagon. Thing was awesome. Probably to this day my favorite car I've ever had. But yeah, I had hydraulic assist brakes, and it was really nice. What I like about that is I can run any engine because I don't need vacuum anymore. I can put one hell of an engine in this and not have to worry about running vacuum brakes. Anyway, y'all take her easy. I'll see you in the next video. Yep, that's this thing. It does have a pretty nice bed on it, even though somebody cut a hole for the fifth wheel. But I mean, yeah, it is what it is. There's a bunch of Mickey Mouse lights and crap
wired up everywhere, literally with speaker wires, and the wires were literally going through the back of the truck to a switch. Nothing's fused. I'm gonna have to rip all the wiring out and start over. Tail lights don't work, none of the turn signals work. The headlights do work, so I mean, if I had to drive it at night I could. The brake lights work, but all the turn signals light up when you hit the brakes. So it takes a special kind of person to wire a truck up like this. I mean, for what I paid for it, I'm not complaining. I love the truck, don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining for, I didn't give that much for it, but at the same time, like, I would have rather paid like $500 more for a better wiring harness. Or a fuel system that literally, you know, it literally leaked in 20 different places front to back. Like, it was hilarious. So yeah, I would have gave like a little extra for a fuel system that didn't leak, but it's okay, I got this. It's a Chevrolet, we can fix it and we can make it better. If not, I'll pull the engine out of the race car and put in it and do 4-wheel burnouts. No, I ain't gonna do that. That would be awesome though, but I'm not gonna do that. So yeah, I got a couple of broken trucks and things are okay, I guess. Yep, that's the way my luck's been going. I was going to do a porting video. I've been really opening up a set of heads. I've been doing a whole bunch of work on these heads, and I haven't had a chance to make a video on it and show anything, but that's for another project. Anyway, you guys take her easy, and I will see you in the next video. I got a lot of work to do and it's getting late, so be really cool to drive this thing to work in the morning, but I don't think it's gonna happen. See you in the next one. Oh my goodness, I just realized there's a stupid little light down there. Holy crap, and it goes directly through the grill. Oh man, there's so much I just gotta cut off of this truck, and I just need to get rid of every wire and start over. Everywhere I look, I'm like, holy crap. There's literally just wires twisted together everywhere, without being taped or anything. No fuses, just screw it, it'll be fine. I don't think there's a fuse on the whole damn truck. Also, it's got new brake lines everywhere. And the brake lines are not done the right way, they just kind of hang out and randomly. Oh man, what did I buy? Why did I do this? I got a lot of work to do. All in all though, for being an 87, the body on it and the cab and everything is really like fantastic. It's in excellent shape, very little rust, so it's gonna be alright. The frame on the other hand in the back needs a little love, but I'll take care of that when I weld the bed to the frame since it's not actually attached. You guys take her easy. I'll see you in the next video.